Hello and welcome everyone to our educational debate show, where we share our thoughts and pick up lessons along the way. I am Martin Ebriega and I will be your teacher and host. In today's episode, we will be tackling about the Reproductive Health Bill. For the side representing the pro-RH bill, we have Gian Ngo. And on the other side, we have Eli Ferrer, who is against the RH bill. Before we begin, the Reproductive Health Bill, also known as the RH Law, was passed in 2012 but was suspended by the Supreme Court, following objections from religious groups that argue that the law violates the rights to religion and free speech. Since then, conversations regarding its need or abolishment remain relevant in society at present. So now let us formally begin. First, we will hear the side of the pro-RH bill.
Hello everyone. To start, the RH bill allows contraceptives to prevent pregnancies and sexually transmitted diseases. Women and couples prefer not to have children due to economic, financial, psychological, and medical reasons, which are all completely valid. Would you really want to raise a child in our economy today? It's unfair for both the couple and the child if they were to live in poverty and endure health problems simply because they had no access to contraceptives. Also, the different types of contraception protect people from illnesses such as HIV and other infections.
Thank you for your first argument. Eli, go ahead.
I hear your argument, Jean. Yes, contraception has numerous benefits for medical, eugenic, and psychological reasons. However, let us not forget that married couples have a duty to fulfill their tasks with human and Christian responsibility. Morally, it is wrong because it separates the unitive and procreative purposes of marriage. Marital love is not simply an expression of instinct and sentiments, but an act of free will intended to mutually enrich both husband and wife. It requires understanding the integral purpose of marriage, which is that of creating a family. Married couples should be educated on the virtue of chastity to preserve conjugal fidelity and regulate the conjugal act within the limits of what is established by God. Instead, married couples should consider the natural method of family planning to regulate birth within the family.
And there we have a nice rebuttal from the side against RH bill. Now we move on to the second argument.
For my second argument, I would like to state that there's nothing wrong with sex, premarital or not, because urges and desires are natural to us humans. However, I would like to acknowledge that I am against infidelity. Going back, I believe that we are not hurting anyone when we engage in premarital sexual intercourse. We do not step on anyone by doing this act, given that it is done safely and with consent.
Thank you, Gian. Eli, it's your turn for the second argument.
Premarital sex may promote sexual permissiveness, and this opens the conversation that the conjugal act is open and inclusive for everyone, and not just for married couples due to sexual liberalism. In addition, how are we sure that couples would not eventually resort to infidelity? We are still human, and humans can still commit adultery. Pope Paul VI warned the faithful about the possible consequences of the use of contraceptives. It would open the way for marital infidelity and the overall decline of morality. The whole meaning of true freedom and self-control is directed towards self-giving in communion and friendship with God and with others.
And that ends the second round. Let us proceed to the final argument from both parties.
Lastly, the Reproductive Health Bill legalizes the proper and appropriate process for abortion, thus reducing risks for women. Abortion is beneficial because it could literally save lives of numerous women who experience rape, those who turn to underground abortion practice that are unsafe and unsanitary, those who have high mortality risk due to health complications, and many more. Everyone is encouraged to open their eyes because women face countless challenges today, and by passing this RH bill is one huge step for society to normalize and give importance to reproductive health.
What a closing statement and argument from the pro-RH bill side. Let us now listen to the final statement from the side against the bill. Eli, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Gian, but I would have to disagree with your argument. How about instead of forcing women into giving up or resorting to killing a child, the government would implement better and stricter laws towards condemning rape and other forms of sexual assault or violence, so women wouldn't have to go through an excruciating experience in the first place. Even outside the context of rape, St. Thomas Aquinas stated that abortion is gravely wrong at every stage, observing that it is a sin against nature to reject God's gift of a new life because each and every human life has inherent dignity, and thus must be treated with the respect due to a human person. The RH bill isn't the only way to promote and give importance to reproductive health. As members of the church, we should all be educated and educate others about natural family planning since it accepts fertility. And most of all, sex is total self-giving, so pregnancy occurs because of the couple's actions and not despite the couple's actions.
A great way to end today's debate. It seems that everyone here is moved. Whose side was more substantial in defending their stance on the reproductive health bill? And thank you for tuning in.